Hey, I'm Brandi Fullwood, and this is Seattle Eats. It's a podcast about the Seattle food scene and the best things to eat in it. Dosas are one of the most popular dishes in the world. Like, seriously, billions of people eat them every single morning. But even though the fermented rice and lentil crepe is an everyday staple at home, the restaurant dosa is its own special experience.
The waiter or waitress will come out with a comically large cylinder that is larger than the plate itself. So yeah, like a golden telescope. Yeah. You cannot achieve that at home, even though you can eat dosas every day at home if mom makes it.
And the thing is, Seattle's dosa scene is really good. People are ditching their dosa batters in the fridge and just waiting in line or making reservations to get them at restaurants. But which local restaurants make the best dosas? We're going to put you on. Shri Repp is a writer and cooking instructor at the Pantry, and Shri's been on the lookout for her ideal dosa across the city. The ones you absolutely must leave your house to try. Let's get into it. Hi, Shri. Thanks for coming in.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
So a dosa is essentially fermented rice and lentil batter. And that sounds simple, but what do you think makes a good dosa? The flavor, the ingredients, the texture. What are you looking for?
It is so complex. Making a dosa is as complex, if not more, than making sourdough. It's like a golden crepe that can be folded in so many different shapes. You can have triangles, you can have a long cylinder. When you're a kid, they give you a cone dosa that you can put on like a party hat. So dosas can come in all different shapes. The texture of a dosa is, also debatable. You can have something that's ultra crispy or spongy and soft. My ideal lies somewhere in the middle, crunchy and soft. Does it taste nutty? Do you really taste that fermentation in the sour notes? Then I look for the sides and accompaniments, and then overall, I look at the presentation of the dosa. When it comes out, does it look glistening and golden?
There's so many things to look out for.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first, we are talking about the dosas in Seattle, not the east side, because I've heard that dosa fans might come clamoring about it, so let's set expectations here and now. Shri, what's going on with the dosas in Seattle?
The dosa scene in Seattle is super exciting. There are folks that are really honing in on making their perfect version of a dosa.
Yeah.
And they have strong opinions about the texture of the dosas, the sides that should come with dosas. And it's really cool to see all these regional differences popping up.
Yeah. Well, let's get into some dosas and break down what they're like and where to get them.
Yeah.
First up is a newer addition to the dosa lineup. It's in Ballard, and they have a couple of locations around the city, but do you want to tell us about what's new on the scene?
The newer addition to the scene is Spice Waala. And so they're typically known for their North Indian street food dishes, but they're venturing into South Indian food for breakfast. They're trying to pilot this program. So they have dosas on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. only in their Ballard location.
Okay, and what kind of dosa did you get at Spice Waala?
What I ordered at all of these places is the masala dosa. And whenever I say masala, it is a potato and onion mixture.
It's fairness.
Yeah, because it's classic enough. Like, you can get other inclusions like cheese in your dosa. Some wild places, they add chocolate in their dosas. I don't mind it. Some people think that's blasphemy.
But for this research, you're focused on masala dosas with potato and onions. And so a lot of the filling is going to be the same thing. So I have an idea to keep up with the different versions. Have you seen House Hunters before?
A long time ago.
You know how they give the houses little nicknames like Seaside Bungalow? Can we do that with these
The
dosas?
dosas? Yeah.
What's Spice Walla's like?
Spice Walla's dosa is a dosa of extreme. It's like the texture is high crispiness in areas and then spongy circles. If you see anyone make a dosa, how it works is that you pour this like fermented batter into the center like a puddle, and then you use the back of a ladle to draw these concentric circles. And Spice Walla's, the outside ring is nice and fluffy, and then they have another inside ring that is also nice and fluffy. But in between those rings, you'll have these ultra crispy, almost shattery kind of crisps in between. It's a contrast in texture dosa.
Okay, the dosa extreme. What's the price like though?
The price point of the dosa, it starts at $11. And then for any additions like the masala, you add on $1.50 for that.
Yeah.
It is my favorite masala in the lineup because it is so bright. The way that they cook their masala is that they take a scoop and put it on the griddle, and then they put thinly sliced onions on the griddle. It's like almost like how you cook a smash burger.
Yeah, I was just going to say like the Oklahoma style burgers like that.
Yeah.
We're starting strong. Well, I will be looking out for my Capitol Hill neighborhood Spice Waala to be putting this on the menu.
Yeah, but we have to support the Ballard one, so they roll it out. Look. It's just experimental.
Look, it's a lot to ask.
I know.
You know, I used to live on that side of Seattle, and so I get it.
Yeah.
It feels like pulling teeth trying to get people to go to Ballard, but I am excited to talk about another one because you basically told me I had to try it, but good luck. Bangalore Kitchen at Ballard's Farmers Market, and that's because the line for Bangalore Kitchen and at the Ballard's Farmers Market is so long. It seems like it's always long, but it was worth it for me. But these are different dosas from what people seem to expect. What's going on at Bangalore Kitchen?
Yeah, the Bangalore Kitchen's dosas are one of a kind. Bangalore is a place, it's a city. They have a Bangalore style dosa, which is very different than the one that you get at Spice Waala. The way a Bangalore dosa is that the outside is ultra crispy. If you look at it, it is super caramelized and brown. And at the same time that the outside is so crispy, the inside is also so fluffy.
Yeah.
It's such a contradiction, and it's like that throughout the dosa.
It is very deceptive. It looked like we could crack a spoon over it, like a sunset shattering.
Ooh.
But then the feeling of it on your fingers is spongy.
Yes, they put a red chutney on the inside. So the outside almost has a reddish hue from the red, like seeping through, not seeping through, but you see the color seep through, not like
it's like the most
soggy.
Transparent parts of the dosa is showing the reds.
The red hue. So
that's why it kind of looks like a sunset, I guess.
Yeah. They use dal and rice in some secret proportion.
Ooh.
But they also use different varieties of dal to get that nutty flavor, and then also they add other things to help with their fermentation process. Their dosa is really unique, and you can taste the perfect amount of sour in the batter. It's not too sour where you know that it over fermented. You can actually taste that in the dosa, but it's like the perfect vessel for the chutney. It's like spongy enough to soak that in.
There are a lot of times where something that is bread-like feels like just a vehicle for the other thing. So in this case, the masala filling. I thought that the dosa and then also the potato, they had their own flavors and together just made every bite better.
Yes.
Every single pocket of spice just lit up different parts of my brain. Like all the memories of every spice I have in my kitchen just they all lined up.
I'm so glad that you liked it.
So in the house hunters of it all, what would you call Bangalore Kitchen's dosa?
I want to say thick and crispy.
Thick and crispy sunset?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. What do you think about this dosa as how it's created a huge word of mouth culture around it?
I mean, I think it's well deserved because even in the United States, when you do happen to find a dosa on a menu, it's not necessarily a Bangalore style dosa. So a lot of people don't even know what that is. So there are folks that are willing to travel from all parts of Seattle to line up for this dosa. Another thing to know, if you go in line to order their dosas, hot tip number 1 is go from 9 to 10 because line's the shortest and they have a 10% off if you go in that first hour. So early bird gets the dosa. You'll see on their menu, it's spelled D-O-S-E, and you pronounce it dose, because that's how in Bangalore they say dosa. I say dosa. They say dose, because in India there's so many different languages, and that's just they're educating you while you're standing in line. It's a $16 dosa. Another, gripe that dosa lovers have is that they're like, hey, in India I could get the dosa for so cheap. Well, if you can get it in India, it doesn't necessarily mean that it transfers to Seattle. And making a dosa is an arduous process. It's like a 3-day process. You have to soak the rice for a day. Then you have to grind the batter. The way that you grind it matters. And then you have to ferment it in the Seattle weather, which is a challenge.
Yeah.
Once it's fermented and doubled in size, then you get to the griddling, which is an art in itself. Getting a consistent and good dosa is difficult, and that's why I'm trying to perfect my recipe.
I feel like this is a consistent trend with you, where you task yourself to make things that most people don't make at home, which hard relate. So dosas are also part of that. It's not something that is commonly made, even though it's eaten almost every day.
No. Oh, so the previous generation, the generation like my mom, they are so used to making dosa and idli batters. And so I grew up eating dosas every weekend. When you live in India, you eat it every morning because there's always some kind of batter that has been fermented and ready to go for the next day. But the next generation, which includes me, is so spoiled to being like, I eat that every day, but we don't spend the time to do that process. You can make it a part of your regular routine or habit, and it also deserves so much respect. And so I think that price point is worth it.
Gotcha. We have to talk about one of the biggest distinctions. It's that Bangalore Kitchen serves their dosa with chutneys and no sambar. Sambar is, a vegetable and lentil stew, which is commonly served and expected with dosas. But Bangalore Kitchen says no sambar on the menu at all.
In Bangalore, in those traditional cafes or restaurants, they don't serve sambar. Amongst dosa lovers, there's the chutney clique and the sambar squad, two factions. And even within those factions, they have internal debates on what makes the best chutney or what makes the best sambar. The standard chutney that typically comes with dosas is a coconut chutney. Any other ones are always welcomed. Sambar is something I grew up eating with my dosas, so you can kind of tell where my allegiance lies.
I love controversy. Well, let's get into the next one, which is still above the cut in Fremont.
Yes, the next one that I wanted to talk about is called Sangamam. That space where Sangamam is, it's always kind of been some kind of Indian restaurant, and now Sangamam has Indo-Chinese and more South Indian leaning stuff. There is, of course, your standard butter chicken and naan on the menu, but that's not what I would go there for. It is a more sit-down vibe, so very different from the vibes of Waala and standing in line at a farmer's market. They have the iconic hotel-style dosa or restaurant-style dosa. The waiter or waitress will come out with a comically large cylinder that is larger than the plate itself. So the dosa cylinder is hanging off from the two sides of this metal plate, and it's golden, like a golden telescope. They must have a giant griddle in the back because you can only achieve a restaurant-style ginormous dosa if you have a big flat top. You cannot achieve that at home. So that's why it's special. It's a special dosa to go out and eat, even though you can eat dosas every day at home if mom makes it. People don't realize what they have ordered, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is huge. It's 2 feet long almost. They try to figure out what end to start working on the dosa from.
What end did you start with? Are you a middle?
I usually am not. So I took my family there this weekend, and I was like, I need to film this dosa. And the masala, the one gripe that I have about all masala dosas is that they don't spread the masala evenly across. They usually put it in the center. Sometimes I'll even ask for it on the side so I can have my perfect ratio for every single bite. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do something crazy and just rip the dosa in the middle so I can get it on camera. And the gasp in my family was it was audible. They were embarrassed, but
You're like, this is the price of third culture kids.
Yeah. But their dosa it has the same texture throughout, but it is crunchy, but still pliable enough for the chutneys and sambar.
Okay. Sambar included.
Yes. My favorite sambar in this lineup, the sambar at Sangamam, is perfection.
Okay.
It's the perfect balance of tang and spice to me. It's very well seasoned. Each of their chutneys has a different flavor. And so they are going all out on their sides. And their comically large dosa is amazing. My first instinct is to like sambars that are somewhere in the middle of runny and thick. So it has to be a liquid that kind of coats the back of a spoon, but like easily drips off. So that the sambar can cling onto the dosa and soak in. But I don't want all sorts of like vegetables or something getting in the way between my sambar dipping experience. Like I don't want to have a lot going on.
What feels more exciting about getting a dosa at a restaurant compared to just having it at home?
Yeah. When you get a dosa at home, one, it's never going to be the same size as a restaurant style dosa. At a home, you're working on the stove that you have at hand. Sometimes, depending on how fast the person at the stove is working, you might have like hot spots and cold spots. So you're not going to get that even golden across that what you get at a restaurant where the flat top is like such a high heat, and you can even achieve that crisp better on a flat top at a restaurant versus at home. And so there's something special to that. Depending on how you order the dosa, they use copious amounts of ghee, which I love. And at home, if you're eating it every day, sometimes you'll add ghee to make it nice and buttery. But on a daily basis, you might use like a different fat or oil to eat your dosa. So that's a prime difference.
It's a little less indulgent at home.
Exactly.
Maybe unless you're coming home after a long time.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the restaurant telescope style dosa. That's her little nickname, I guess. And there's a fourth one that's actually pretty close to us in the U District. It's a South Indian cuisine restaurant, and it's honestly a lunch staple on the Ave. What's going on at Chili's? What's their dosa like?
Yes, Chili's was the first dosa that I had when I moved to Seattle. Yeah, it's not the fast food chain. You're not going to have that long mozzarella cheese pull there, but you are going to have a dosa that kind of feels like a home style dosa.
Okay.
And it feels like your Amma, your mom is like making you dosas for you. So it's super nostalgic. Their dosas are a little bit cheaper than the other ones that we talked about. I want to say it's $11, but you can fact check me on that after.
We could go fact check right now.
Yeah.
Actually, seriously, Chili's is down the street, so we could go try their dosa, talk about it.
Yeah.
Buy one, split one.
Yes.
See what's going on.
Let's do it.
Chili's is a classic lunchtime spot for their buffet deal, but the tables donning white linen invite diners like Shri and I to order a big restaurant-style dosa. And so we indulged.
Hi, could we get the ghee masala dosa?
For $11.99, you can get the ghee masala dosa served with a cup of sambar and chutney. Since we're sharing, they brought us each our own cup of sambar.
Yes, thank you.
The dosa is light brown with darker stripes spiraling towards the middle. It has a light rush of glistening ghee. Ugh. Should we rip it open from the middle?
Yeah, I won't judge that.
We take the first bites, and almost all the adjectives go out of the door.
Cumin.
Yeah. Like that. It doesn't feel too pretentious. It is just what you need. It's seasoned perfectly well. Like changes between crisp to fluffy, crisp to fluffy.
So if we were to name this dosa, I think I would name it Amma's dosa or like mom's dosa.
Yeah,
right.
I like that.
Yeah.
So the dosa scene in Seattle is diverse. There are different textures, flavors, fillings, sides, and settings to eat them in. So you could get some that are light but comforting, or something bold and indulgent.
You can find a reason to eat a dosa.
Yeah. And I will. Shri Repp is a cooking instructor at The Pantry and a writer for the blog Moonrice. You can find a list of all the dosas and their nicknames in the description of the episode. I'm curious about which ones you want to try, so let me know. Seattle Eats is hosted by me, Brandi Fullwood, and you can get in touch with me at seattleeats@kuow.org. If there's something on your mind, though, about the Seattle food scene, maybe it's a funny story. Maybe it's a pitch for the go-to spot for your ideal dosa on the east side in Seattle, or some other kind of dish we should all give the time of day. We have a voicemail box set up for you to call us at 206-543-8510. Give a call. Leave a voicemail. We might put it in a future episode. And honestly, I love hearing from you all, especially when you're eating well. The show is produced by me and edited by Jim Gates. Seattle Eats is a proud member of the NPR network. You can find more and support the show at kuow.org/eats. And all of this information is in the description of the show. If you like the show, though, give us a rating. Leave a comment. It really helps. All right, talk soon.